Hello, everyone. In this session, I am going to focus on a simple spreadsheet problem. And what I am going to start with is the specification. This is what I refer to as verifier-driven development. And I, as the human, am the verifier, and the AI is going to generate the code. So I need to be able to be fast and effective at verifying that code in order to make sure that there are guardrails on what gets generated. So I've already entered this prompt that describes the problem statement. And what has happened is that based on this problem statement, Copilot has generated a functional specification document. This is going to help me define what the spreadsheet is going to do. And it talks through all of the different pieces. At this point, I could copy this and put it into a functional specification document and include that in my project. And this keeps a comprehensive understanding of what the application is intended to accomplish. I can also add in an additional prompt that talks about system design plans and how are we going to guide that development. So again, prompting the AI, I start to build out a system design plan. And this will explain how the components are broken down, how the application works, and generates an understanding for me to work from. This is a good way of looking at the whole application and understanding what it is that I plan to do. Also, it creates these guardrails for the AI to stay within. These are essentially success paths. And then lastly, I have to think about how am I going to test this. And so I might add another line in here is generate a complete test plan. And here the test plan will look at the functional specification, the system design, and give me a plan for how I will test this. And so it starts to generate test cases and how those test cases will work, and then go through and build out various scenarios on how I might go about testing this application. So now this is the specification and the verification side of it. I have a good understanding of how I'm going to build this application. So as I mentioned, I call this the verifier-driven development, and I've created a repository as a starting point for this. This is based on a coding dojo test first spreadsheet and the test first challenge by Joe Wright and Bill Wake. And in this README, you'll find the problem statement that I started with. In addition, I have the functional specification created already. And this was generated with AI, but I took the time to make sure that it was actually what I wanted to build. So I went through and edited it. And the reason I started with AI was just to give me a comprehensive structure and understanding of what it was that I wanted to do. I did make some changes to it just to make sure that it's what I wanted as the specification. Similarly, I went through and generated a system design, and this includes some basic instructions on how to use it and how the formulas will output their answers, so that I can really give examples that the AI can use. One more thing that I generated was this idea of a test plan. And in this, there's a number of structure that I've already started to think about and how I want to do the automated testing and how I want to have that structure. I'm starting with just a very simple test. It's the one failing test example, or in this case, it actually passes. And then the sheet class is a very simple starting point so that AI gets off to a good start. One more thing I'll point out is that I have a Copilot instructions file, and this helps make sure that GitHub Copilot has a sense of what the project is all about, the tools that I plan to use, the code coverage goals that I have. I also include a number of other TDD testing patterns that I'd like followed, exception handling guidelines, a number of things on testing conventions. What's important to know is this file can be reused in multiple projects. It just creates for this repository sort of the guardrails and ground rules that AI will follow. In the next video, I will take this spreadsheet and start to work from the project. So the project can be found at pytest_VDD, that is verifier-driven development, _spreadsheet. Thank you.